Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Obviously got a pink shirt on today, so we're excited about the breast cancer awareness game this week, and appreciate the partnership with Clemson Athletics and trying to create great awareness for breast cancer and breast cancer research. Just a couple things about it. It's the most commonly diagnosed cancer among women in South Carolina. It's the number 2 leading cause of death for women in the state of South Carolina. And just to give you a little perspective, it's estimated that 41,000 women will die from breast cancer this year. And as y'all all know, there's a little over 81,000 people that will be in the stadium on Saturday. So just text the word Dabo, D-A-B-O, and you can, or it's 41444 to make a donation, and then again, all the funds will go to the foundation and breast cancer prevention. We're also, the university's got these pins this year that we're selling again. We've got an orange one with the pink background, and we got a white one with the pink background. So we got the 2 pins that are available as well, and you can pick those up at ClemsonTigers.com, the Fanatics, the Tiger Sports Shop, Tigertown Graphics, Palmetto Moon, Raspberry Fizz, Judge Keller's, Barnes & Noble, Clemson Variety and Frame, Allen's Creations, Onward Reserve, the Alumni Hall, and also in the stadium stores there. And then Southern Fried Cotton has created a Howlin' for a Cure t-shirt that they're selling to support it as well. And also their Fight Like a Tiger t-shirts. You can get those in the stores and online. And then WCCP, shout out to them, doing the Tigers for Tatas. That's another great revenue source. I mean, they've been amazing the last couple of years, and excited about coming by, joining y'all. I guess on Thursday we'll come over there and hang out with y'all for a little bit. So it's just something that we're passionate about, and I appreciate everybody's support, and looking forward to a lot of pink this weekend. Obviously coming off an open date, it's been a really productive open date for us. I think it came at a great time. You know, I go back to 2015. I think our open date was like week 3 or something, and so you don't really know a whole lot about yourself at that point. And then we ended up playing 10 straight games, counting the ACC championship game that year, and this actually worked out great for us because I think we've grown our team the first 6 weeks for sure. We've learned a lot about our team. We've developed some very critical depth. We've seen some young guys that have shown that they can help us win, and you know, it's been a very productive first half for sure, being 6-0. But we've got enough video to really study ourselves and to try to improve, and give us the best chance going forward in the second half on how to improve. You know, by reflecting and studying each other, crossover study, all that stuff. And plus we've had a little extra time to get ready for NC State, and so have they. They've had an open date as well, but it's been very productive for us, and I just think that health-wise we're in a good spot. Hopefully that will continue through a tough week of practice coming up today and tomorrow especially. But this is going to be a big game, man. I mean, they're all huge, as we know, but there's not many undefeated teams left out there. And you got 2 of them facing off in the Valley on Saturday, and you best believe no team wants to lose. So you're going to have 2 teams that are going to be passionate about winning. NC State's a really good football team. That schematically, they're one of the best teams we will play all year. They do a tremendous job of coaching their guys, having them in the right position, offensively. Schematically, probably as good a team as we will see all year long. This quarterback is a pro, all right? He is a legit pro. I don't know when he's going to be drafted, but it'll be early. He is a very good football player. I had a chance to see him the last couple of years, obviously just kind of growing into his role, but he has complete ownership of what they do. They do a great job. Everything's built off their run game, the stretch scheme that they run. But he is very gifted thrower. He's very accurate, and he has great command of everything they're doing, and does just really does a great job of manipulating the defense. He sees it. He has a really good understanding of the concepts defensively, and he knows where to go with the ball. You know, they're second in the country right now in giving up sacks, the fewest sacks. He just doesn't get sacked. And it's a combination of a lot of things. First of all, they're really good up front. This is one of the best offensive lines we'll see. Physical, nasty, aggressive, do a great job of cutting you on the backside. They do a great job of mauling your linebackers on the second level. I mean, they're very good up front. Got an All-American candidate at left tackle. Center's a very good player. They got 3 of their starters back from last year. And I thought they beat us up front last year. I thought they won that matchup, to be quite honest with you. So this is a good group, good backs. They've got a really good group of receivers. They're throwing the ball for, I don't know, 300 and something yards a game, 7th in the country. So that, you know, that's a credit again to the receivers, the offensive line, but especially this quarterback. This quarterback has put the ball, he can make every throw, every single throw. And what's most impressive about him, and it's one of the main reasons they don't get sacked very much, is he manages the pocket and when he scrambles, but he scrambles to throw. And he has created a lot of big plays, and that's what really worries you about this guy. He's created a lot of big plays where the coverage was there. I mean, it was great coverage. There's nowhere to go with the ball. And he steps up and slides and buys just enough time, and then he throws a rope on the move, whether it's to his left or to his right, it really doesn't matter. Just a very accurate thrower on the scramble. So I've got a lot of respect for what I've seen on tape of these guys. And then defensively, NC State's always one of the best defenses we play. They're good up front. They lost some guys from last year, but these guys that are starters now played a ton of football for them over the last couple of years. But a bunch of, 3 guys back in the back end that started for them. So same thing, really, really well coached. And schematically, they know exactly what they're doing. They know how to attack your protections. They do a good job of studying your tendencies. And so this will be a great matchup for us. Last year, this game came down to a special teams play. We had a huge punt return for a touchdown. Ended up being the difference in the game. And so we're excited about it. 3:30 kick in the Valley. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know we'll have an awesome crowd. We're going to need them for sure. But this is what it's all about. I mean, you got 2 undefeated Power 5 teams in the same division. And you can't win. We can't win the division this week, that's for sure. And neither can they. But the winner of this game has the opportunity to stay in control of your destiny, and that's really where you want to be. The loser's not out of it, but you kind of, you gotta hope something happens. So we want to try to do everything we can to stay in control of our destiny and get off to a good start in the second half of our season. But really, really anxious to get back out on the field. I think this past weekend was great. It's always fun to get a little bit of a break, especially to give your guys a break. But at the end of the day, it don't feel right sitting at home watching. You just want to be in it. You want to get out there and get back in the competition, and we're certainly going to get the opportunity to do that this week.
But how have you seen the secondary grow from the Texas A&M game? Do you feel like those guys are ready for this challenge this week?
Yeah, I mean, they've grown a ton. I mean, the Texas A&M game, we had some busts, and then we had some fluky plays where we're in, kind of hard to be in better position, but tip balls, a couple of crazy situations. But, we didn't know much about Texas A&M. That's one of the hardest games that we will play. We literally knew very little about them. And in preparing for them, as you go back, we studied Wake Forest, Florida State, and Notre Dame. You couldn't. Their tape was worthless to watch. So, just there's a lot of unknowns in the game, and then you're coming off spending a lot of camp and first game triple option because you're just trying to win the game you're playing. But so we definitely have grown a ton since that point. Then we came back and we played 2 more triple option teams, but we did well with the schemes that we had to compete against. And then you jump into the Syracuse game, and I thought we got better. And then you come back against Wake Forest and probably played our best game. Just structurally and positioning, being where we're supposed to be, those type of things, we've made good strides. But to be quite honest with you, we really haven't seen anything like we're going to see this weekend from just a schematic standpoint, how they build everything off the play action, the RPOs, the pistol play action, everything downhill, trying to really manipulate the defense, backside slant throws. I mean, they really do a good job in attacking you. And then the ball's going down the field. This guy's putting the ball up. There's going to be a lot of competitive plays in this ball game, and so we've got to win those plays. So excited about it. But these guys have improved a ton. We've developed some depth there, and getting Trayvon back is huge for us. Obviously, didn't have to play him in the Wake Forest game, so he's basically had 3 weeks, I guess, to really kind of get back to full strength. And then the development of Denzel and Nolan and Mark and Kyler and Mario, they're just different game 7 than they were game 1 and 2.
Coach, what's Tavian's status with his shoulder?
He's a lot better. He's back in practice, and expect him to be ready to roll.
With Cornell, do you have an update on?
Yeah, he's actually back and ready to go. He got his situation resolved, but we're talking about maybe trying to redshirt him. That's something that we've kind of had some discussions with, and we might see how that goes. And see if we can get a year back on Cornell.
Coach, with Trevor's ability to get the ball out so quickly, do you think that's made your screen pass game more effective and kind of forced defenses to respect it more?
Oh yeah, no question. I mean, he's just a gifted thrower, and the ball gets from point A to point B in a hurry. So name of the game is speed, and we got guys that can run, guys that can make plays in space, and his ability to, first of all, process it, but secondly, to get the ball there quickly and accurately definitely helps us in that area.
Through the first 6 games, the offense has played really well, second, third, and fourth quarter, but the first quarter, slow starts most every game. Is there anything that you can attribute that to, or is it just different circumstances? Is there any one reason, or is it just variety of?
Yeah, I'd have to go back and really process that. I mean, I don't think we started slow in the Furman game. I don't think. I'm trying to think. Did we start slow in the Texas A&M game? I thought we kind of came out and moved the ball pretty good, but I can't remember. And then Georgia Tech game, we didn't have the ball. We lost the toss. Or maybe we won the toss. No, they won the toss. I can't remember. But all I know is they had the ball for ever. Maybe 8 minutes, 9 minutes, that opening drive. It was a long time. So that's part of that one. And then the Syracuse game, I think we fumbled the second play. We fumbled. We've had some miscues early. So where we had a missed signal and going the wrong way, and we get a fumbled exchange, maybe play 2 or something like that. I mean, it was early, but we just got out of. We just didn't get in rhythm early, and then we go up to Wake Forest, and I mean we've got a little screen called, and I mean it's exactly what we thought, and ET just got anxious and took his eyes off the ball. He's probably going to run for 15 yards or so, and then you get behind the chains, and just some missed opportunities, and but I mean they not go. That's why he played 4 quarters. They're not going. I mean I've been a part of games where we got off to a fast start and then we stunk the finish. So we just want to win the game. I mean, we want to go out and score every possession. There's for sure, no doubt we want to score every time we get the ball. But, sometimes early parts of the games you're trying to get some information. You're trying to learn some things and settle into a game. And we've just had a few miscues here or there. But at the end of the day, I think we're one of the best offenses in the country. We're running the ball really well. We're throwing the ball really well. And, statistically, everything points to that. We've just got to be a little more efficient in certain areas, whether it's a penalty or execution, whatever it may be. But our job is to give these guys a chance to be successful, and we're going to continue to do everything we can to make that happen.
Dabo, a lot of talk in the media this week about the 10th anniversary of your hiring. Did you take any kind of extended time at all this week, either by yourself or with your family, and kind of soak it all in and think, wow, what a crazy, fun ride this has been?
Yeah, I did. Well, it was really not as much this weekend as it was last week. Had an opportunity to kind of visit with a few people that wanted to talk about it. It was, I guess, a story. And so that was it was neat to reminisce on that. And I was actually in Ohio for a funeral this weekend in a little town called Milan, Ohio. Got a lot of looks from some Buckeye people up there. So I did ride an unbelievable roller coaster on my 10th anniversary. I don't even know what the name of it was. It was at Cedar Point, and it was freezing. And if anybody likes roller coasters, you got to go ride this roller coaster. I still can't believe I rode it. It was crazy. But I don't know the name of it, but it's like you get on this thing, and it's like a long runway.
Top Thrill Dragster.
Maybe that's it.
Top Thrill Dragster.
You know what it is? And then it goes
feet.
up into a loop. Yeah, so it's the fastest. So, yeah. Have you rode it? Or you just saw it on YouTube? All right, well, let me tell you.
I just love roller coasters and various other things.
Well, I rode it, and it was freezing. And because this little town we were at, which is kind of like Pendleton, it was only like 10 miles or something from the Cedar Point. So we go, me and the boys, we go, and so we get on this thing, and it's a little two-seater, and it's literally like you're on a drag, like, red, yellow, green, go, and you're going like from 0 to 120 miles an hour, and it is a long, like forever. And then all of a sudden you're straight up, and you're like on a rocket going to the sky, and then you're straight down, and it just goes straight up. How high did you say it went?
Like 400 something feet.
I mean, it's
second
unbelievable.
highest.
Unbelievable. So that's what I did on my anniversary. So I was just thinking about surviving that roller coaster ride on Saturday. I wasn't spending much time thinking about all the other stuff, but it was fun.
Have you taken a different approach to this team when it comes to rest? I know you said in the fall you took a weekend off, and it seemed like the first time you'd ever had a weekend off during the fall, and of course with the bye week. How do you approach that differently with this group?
Yeah, well, that was just more a result of they changed the rules on us, as far as the way that the number of practices that you could do. And so it went from 29 to 25 or whatever. So I just kind of tweaked our camp schedule a little bit. We went I think we went like 18 practices straight, and then I gave them that weekend off, and then we came back and finished up that last week before we started school. So it was good for us to kind of have that little break, and then we had we had like 8 weeks. 7.5 or 8 weeks straight before we got the open date. But we didn't do anything different. I mean, it's kind of, we really believe in what we do as far as how we practice and then how we manage the open date. So we came in and we worked Monday through Thursday, and Tuesday was no football, was a community service day. And then we gave them off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's what we do every year and always have.
You mentioned the efficiency, the desire for efficiency on offense. Is the third down, is that the
Yep.
biggest thing y'all need to address?
Definitely. Yeah, we've, and some of it is we've, like I said, been incredibly explosive. But some of it has been certain situations in some games that's affected us some, where we just have kind of run the clock a little bit, so there's a few of them you can throw out that would probably help us a little bit, but we've not been as good on third down as we were really good last year on third down. We were incredibly efficient. We just weren't very explosive. So, you know, it's definitely an area that second half of the season we need to improve in, and I think we will. I think just kind of growing into who we are has been a part of it too. And some missed opportunities, some penalties, some things like that have you know, it doesn't take a lot. I mean, all of a sudden now you're inefficient instead of efficient. So it's definitely an area we got to improve in.
Earlier this year, you told us about how you want to manage the snaps of the defensive line a little better to keep them fresher for later in the year. So far this year, are you seeing any results there?
Oh yeah. There's no doubt about that. I thought we had one game. I guess it was the Syracuse game. I thought they got a little tired. We didn't probably do as good a job in that game. But, yeah, I mean, we've been able to really develop our guys. I mean, we've played a lot of guys inside, and I think we knew we'd do that at D-tackle. That's really, you know, been a huge thing for us. I mean, Niles Pinckney has performed well for us. Huggins has been great. And then the development of Jordan Williams. I mean, I know we missed a couple games, but getting him back, I mean, he's confident, knows what he's doing. So, you know, moving Xavier in there, I think, has helped us shore up some depth there too. So I really feel good about that. And then the biggest thing for us was kind of defensive end, seeing how the young guys were going to progress. And Foster's been awesome. I mean, we're just really pleased with him. He's going to be a really good player for us. A very complete guy, very conscientious. He's a heavy-handed kid, and you know, just very dependable. And then Logan Rudolph, same thing, redshirt freshman. He's a guy that's got one gear, and it's same thing, very dependable, really understands what we're doing. He's gotten some experience now, and then Xavier Thomas is just, I mean, wow. I mean, he's played 6 games now, and you know he doesn't look like a freshman out there, and so there's no question he's been one of the brightest spots on our team, and so being able to have you know, those 3 guys in particular, and then Chris was hurt a while, kind of getting him back in the mix from a depth standpoint. We feel good going into the second half about being able to, you know, play our guys in every situation, and you know, have good functional depth at every position on defense.
Over the past several years, this game between Clemson and NC State has gotten pretty contentious. You have players stealing towels and coaches alleging illegal laptops. What's your message to your team in terms of keeping
Players stealing towels and coaches. You said coaches. I haven't alleged any laptops. I did want an investigation on the towel stealing. And Dave sent me some Adidas towels back and apologized. And I'm like, well, these are Adidas. These aren't even our towels. So I guess Chubb still got them hung up in his apartment, wherever he is, who is he with? Who's he with? Broncos. They're in Denver somewhere. But no, you know, this is an incredibly competitive game for sure for both teams. Both teams want to win. We have had some crazy stuff though. I mean, we had y'all remember Isaiah Battle punched some guy that one year. Oh my God! At the end of a game, he just lost his mind, and then we had one of their coaches pushed maybe Deshaun. I can't remember, one year, and you know, I had to call him and apologize for Isaiah, and he had to call me and apologize, you know, for his coach pushing Deshaun on the sideline, and then you know, last year I didn't really understand the laptop stuff. I'm not sure but you know, that was it was all good. I get along fine with Dave. I mean, but it's just a very competitive game. They're a good team, you know. They're, like I said, well coached, good players, and that's why. And both teams want the same thing, and they want it bad, and that's why this has been a very competitive game.
Coach, is there a difference when you go up against a team this deep into a season that's still undefeated, the confidence they bring to the table and energy they have that maybe a team with 1 loss, 2 loss wouldn't have?
We get everybody's best. Just the way it is. It don't matter who we play. They can be 1-9. They'll play like a 9-1 team when they play the Tigers. So that's just part of it. You know, that we know that. So really doesn't matter.
NC State the last couple of years, they've been able to use backs and tight ends and things like that. A lot of those guys are around, and a lot of the returners are in that receiving core. Do you see any difference in them schematically now that they have to rely on receivers a little more?
Nope. They're still going to run the ball. They run the stretch. You know, they're a big RPO team. They're a big play action team. They're a big pistol team. Pistol play action, pistol boots, a lot of screens, shots, bunch of tricks. I think it's on our breakdown. I think it's about 14% of their offense are tricks. You know, what we would call some type of trick. You know, flea flickers, double passes. You know, all kind. And you know, I think it's just they call that stuff to help them. You know, yeah, they want it to hit, but even if it doesn't hit, they feel like it helps them. You know, keep a defense on edge a little bit, and future defenses that they're going to play down the road. So, but they do what they do. You know, I mean, they're a lot of motions and shifts, and the biggest difference this year, I think that they're really high on their receivers, and they should be. These are really good players, very, very skilled guys that they have. But probably the biggest difference is they're a little bit more – they've always been a heavy 11 personnel team. They're a little more 10 personnel this year as opposed to 12. You know, they still get into some 12, but breakdown percentage-wise, it's not – it's a lower percentage than it's been in the past. You know, that big number 42 and 6, them two tight ends they got, they're good players, but I think they've featured their receivers a little bit more. And this quarterback is he makes everything go. But it's all built off the run game. It's all built off of that.
Do you see Xavier Thomas's role increasing some?
It's already increased. I mean, his role's already increased from the beginning of the season through the first 6 games. Y'all have seen a lot more of him, and we've created some packages where he's been in there, and it ain't gonna decrease. That's for sure. I mean, he's earned the opportunity, and it just helps, you know. Clee and Austin can play both sides, and so he's kind of that third guy right now that we, you know, we think can go in there and you know, give Clee and Austin the type of break that they need to keep those guys fresh, and Justin's right there too, and like I said, and then Logan. Is in that mix, but definitely Xavier has differentiated himself.
You obviously knew you had a good one in Justin Ross, but just the way he's picked things up and what he's done, has he maybe even exceeded your earliest expectations?
Oh, he's definitely exceeded my expectations. You know, I knew he was a physical, you know, just physically gifted, phenomenal athlete, but you just don't know how guys are going to process things. You don't know how guys are where are they going to be technically and fundamentally when it comes to what you have to do at this level. You know, nobody's pressing Justin Ross in high school. You know, and most of those guys struggle when we get them because the guys we get are always the best athlete on the field. And if they do have somebody pressing them, then there's usually somebody over the top. You know, so we don't see many. They don't see much just true press technique, man-to-man, one-on-one, and so they don't have to really play with their hands very much. And so their release techniques usually take a little longer to develop in a receiver, and the coordination of their hands, their eyes, their feet, and everything kind of working together in sync where it's not robotic. It's just it's reaction, and you just don't know till you start coaching a guy. And then you throw on top all the scheme, the speed of the game, and he was amazing right out of the gate. His ability to process things, learn it, but more importantly, his how advanced he was technically. I mean, he really picked things up quickly from a coaching standpoint, and his ability to play with his hands. I mean, he's a strong physical kid, but what makes him really special is his ability to redirect. You know, he's not a straight line guy. He can really change direction in a hurry, and so his lateral quickness is pretty special. And then just again his coachability, I've been very pleased with him. So that's why you've seen him. I mean, he's just because the rest is kind of easy, but the hard stuff has come easier to him than I anticipated.
Piggybacking off of that, he was telling us that he obviously waited till his mom got home to make his recruiting decisions. Just logistically, how did you sort of form a relationship with his mom? Did you wait until she was back and being deployed?
And I actually talked to her while she was gone. And like the first time I talked to her on the phone, she was gone, and he had come up here. I think his coach had brought him up, and so for the first time, and then she got home like in the summer, and so from that point on, you know, she was great to communicate with. His whole family, and you know, his aunt was up here as well a lot, and but. You know, he took his time in the whole process and went through the summer and all into fall and you know, I think it was early December where he told me he was kind of leaning our way. So I felt good about him, and but you know, you never know, especially recruiting a kid from Alabama and the type of pressure that they're under in that state. You know, Alabama, Auburn, and all that stuff, but. This is what he wanted to do, and it's worked out great.
Talked a lot about kind of Trevor's personality. You know, he's just kind of like, okay, coach, you know, whatever you say. How much has that personality attributed to kind of his success over what has been a pretty dramatic season, at least the first 6 games?
Well, I don't think it's just this season. I mean, I just think that's his DNA. That's how it's wired. I think it's attributed to his success that he had in high school. I mean, you know, you think about it today. These big time elite high school quarterbacks. They're under a lot of pressure from, I mean, this kid's been starting since the 9th grade. And so I think just that has served him well all the way through. I mean, you're talking about going the way they do this stuff now. You're all across the country. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody sees everything every single week. You got Elite 11s and high stakes competitions. And, you know, so I think it has all of that. Plus his demeanor and just his DNA has helped him, you know, get off to a good start here.
How much more comfortable and confident is Isaiah now than he was at the beginning of the year?
A lot. I mean, he still will make some mistakes, but he makes a lot of plays, and but he's got 6 games under his belt now. And he's been coached hard. You know, Brent is relentless as far as the details that he's coaching, especially at that nickel Sam position. You know, he's taken to the coaching, and he's a conscientious guy. He's grown a lot, but he's still not close to what his potential is. I mean, he's got a lot of room for improvement in a lot of areas, but he plays hard. He's physical. He's got good coverage skills, and you know, his confidence is really good right now. But he's aware too. He's aware of what he needs to improve on, and he's willing to show up every day and get better. So I think the second half of the season, he's one of those guys on our team that I'm kind of hoping. You know, he's had a good start, but I'm hoping he'll make another jump so that we can, you know, be the type of defense we want to be.
Coach, Travis has been on such a tear. How important is it having such depth at the running back position to kind of keep his legs fresh throughout the course of games and such a long season?
Well, I think if you look at any good rushing team, you know, that's not an option team, they have depth at running back. I mean, I don't know of a team. I mean, maybe there's somebody out there. I mean, you look at Georgia last year. I mean, they had some pretty good backs, and they just rolled them. There's like 3 of them or 4 of them. And it just, I mean, it's huge when you can run the football with really good players. And even though they can all be different, Alabama, I mean, you look at how they've run the ball over the last several years. They've had 3 and 4 backs. You know, we're just very fortunate that we've got that's where we are. And Feaster gets hurt, you know, he's coming off a little scope early on, and then all of a sudden he got a guy that's got a shoulder. here's ETN. Maybe ETN stubs a toe. Hey, here's Adam. I mean, it's just nice to know that you don't have to close up shop or completely, be a zero in the run game if one guy is banged up. And so our ability to manage that and keep those guys fresh has served us well. I mean, it's been a long time since we've been able to run the football like we're running the ball right now. And if we can continue to do that, that's going to create some problems for people because we know that we can throw and catch, and the way we've run, especially with our gap schemes. I mean, we've been a really power counter, gap scheme team. That's been really our bread and butter. We've been more of a zone team, and we've been very successful there too. But I'm just really pleased with how those guys are running the football. I mean, they've done a great job. And then you add in a young guy like Linjay, who's just going to continue to get better. He's gotten enough of it the first half to where, this guy could help you in some situations if you need him. And but we're very confident in those three guys, those veteran guys, that they have a good understanding, protections, everything that we need them to do. And we just got to continue to get them the ball, keep using them. Certainly Travis has kind of separated a little bit. I mean, he's just been unbelievable. But he's not a guy that can play every single snap, and he doesn't have to. And, so the ability to be able to tag team those guys, I think will serve us well.
You guys have run it really well when people expect you to run it, not just, generally speaking, but first down, short yardage, that type of stuff. Is that offensive line, running backs, schematically, you do something like what makes this team really good in those situations running football?
We're not doing anything different than we've done. We've always been a zone counter power team. A little bit of sweep stuff outside. We'll get some down and around stuff from time to time, and a little bit of just a little bit of pitch outside here and there. But we're pretty much in the tackles running team. We always have been. We're just better. I mean, our guys up front are doing a great job. But even sometimes when we don't do a great job, our backs are better than their guy. You can go back to the Syracuse game. I mean, and we just took a lot off the quarterback because, I mean, I just felt like we just needed to eliminate. He just needed to breathe. And the best way to do that was let's just let him hand the ball off and let's not have to make him process everything and feel like the game's got to be on him. And so we just went to, all of our called runs, protected runs. And, I mean, the numbers were against us. They were not good numbers to run the ball. And you can go back and look at them, there was unblocked guys. I mean, we blocked the guys we were supposed to block and we could block, but there was unblocked guys and our guys just made them miss. They just beat them. And so sometimes that's just what it comes down to. And, that's where we're different. This time last year, we were just very green, very inexperienced. Fisher, first-year starter. Didn't play a lot as a freshman. Played, but hadn't been in that role. But our best guys were him and ETN. ET was a true freshman, and he certainly didn't have a good foundation as far as ready to go be a complete player. And we weren't as good outside. We just weren't. We were green outside too, and we've ripened up. So I think it serves us well. But those guys up front are doing a good job, man. They're doing a really good job. They love to run the ball, and especially when they know they got guys back there that make us right more times than not.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, guys. Thank y'all.